What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about a subject no one really talks about, or I haven't seen a lot of people mention, and that is their failures. What have they failed at? Because you see people on YouTube, you see them successful with one thing or a couple things, and you think, all right, they're pretty much successful at everything they do, when in reality, I've failed at more things than most of you have even tried. So while I am successful at certain things, I've failed way more times than I've been successful, and way more times than most people have tried. And that's kind of comes from the quote, the master has failed more than the student has even attempted, or something along those lines. So I want to share with you kind of what things I failed at, maybe the reason why, and what I found success with and why. So I started entrepreneurship about 2.5, 3 years ago, and it all stemmed from learning things online. I had about $1,000 to invest. And the very first thing I ever tried was Kindle publishing on Amazon. So you publish ebooks, you get ghostwriters to write them, and then you upload them on Amazon, try and get them ranked, and hopefully they get sales. Now, this was a lower profit margin kind of thing, but I would say I failed at this. My goal when doing all of this was to create an online income for myself, so I could either stop going to college, I could get my dream car, and just have that freedom. So I ended up publishing about 6 or 7 ebooks. Each one cost me about $50 to $60 to get the cover and other things. And if you guys want a video on that, I could actually do one, because that's kind of a cool business model. But I did 6 ebooks. My first 2 really didn't get many sales, so technically I lost money on those, because I would get a sale at about $3 and I would keep about $170 of that. So I was averaging about $50 to $80 a month with each book, but that was very slow, and it took me a while to recoup my money. I spent about $300 and was getting about $50 on average back a month in profit. So I ended up recouping most of my money after 6 months. Maybe I was down $100, but that money kept coming in, and actually still does today. But I would consider that a failure. My goal is to make a couple thousand a month, and I was making $50. So I learned how to do it a little bit, how to scale it, but I figured that business wasn't for me. So that was my first failure with entrepreneurship. The next is, at that time also, I was playing with trading stocks. I was making a little bit money from that. I was starting Amazon as well, and I was terrible at trading stocks. I learned a little bit, but then I would kind of just guess around, and I lost a little bit of money doing that. Now, what you have to keep in mind is I did not know back then what I know now, or anywhere close. I was probably behind where most of you are if you're watching my videos now. I knew less than you did, which I know it's hard to picture because I watch people also. At that time, I was watching Alex Becker, I was watching Dan Da Silva, I was watching a bunch of people like that, and I was like, oh my God, they know so much that's not reachable, that's crazy. When in reality, I was there 2 years ago, not even, I didn't have a YouTube channel about 13 months ago, so keep that in mind. Next, my failures. I started selling on Amazon, again, self-taught online, learning all that, started with about $1,000, and I failed my first 3 products. Now, you can classify failure differently, but for me, I had a goal to make $100 a day in profit from each one, and if I couldn't do that after a month or 2, then I'd consider that a failure, move to the next one. Now, I never really lost money. I chose bad products. One, I ended up losing about $100, $200 on. The other ones ended up making about $200 or $300 over 3 months, so not very much, but that's all my money tied up, and I don't have the opportunity to use that to start more products. So that was a failure because it's taken my time. I didn't technically lose money, but putting $1,200 aside, which is pretty much my entire bank account, to make $100 a month was not the goal, so I would consider that a failure. And then along my journey up until now, I've probably failed 2 or 3 other products, while starting about 7 or 8 successful ones in between there as well. So more failures right there. Next, so I was doing Amazon for about 6, 8 months, and I realized how passive it was, and I wanted to teach myself something else, another way to make money online. So I tried affiliate marketing. Now, I failed very hard with affiliate marketing at the start. I bought a $1,000 course because at this time I was making about $15,000, $20,000 a month from Amazon. So I bought a $1,000 course. I bought some softwares and I tried to do it, and I failed for about 3 or 4 months doing that. That was before I started YouTube. And I probably lost about $500 in ad spend because I didn't know what I was doing. But after 6 months of doing it, I started to make a little bit. I was making $1,000, $2,000 a month. And then I started scaling it to probably about $10,000 to $15,000 a month I'm at now for affiliate marketing. So if you see any trend here, I failed pretty much every single thing I started for the first 3 to 6 months. And then I started learning what to do, how to do it, and I started making money. That's literally every single one of my failures is like that, or every single one of my successes, except for maybe YouTube, is like that. Now, 2 more things that I failed at. I tried to do social media marketing before I started YouTube. Like I said, I tried affiliate marketing. I wanted another source of income from Amazon because it's so passive. I was getting bored. So I tried affiliate marketing. I was like, I'm not very good at running ads. I don't like ads. Again, this was like 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So I was going to try social media marketing agency, the whole Tai Lopez thing. And I went to try that, and I am just shit at sales. I don't like sales. I don't like doing them. I feel like I could do them now knowing what I know, but I didn't know it back then. And I felt very uncomfortable and happy doing that. I spent probably spent probably $1,300 because I got an LLC for it. I got logos, I got business cards. I did the whole works for that and ended up doing it for about 2 months. I would talk to probably 2 or 3 businesses a day with audits and everything. And I did not get one person with social media marketing over that time. Plus, I hated doing it. And I was like, why am I doing this if I hate it? There's other ways to make money. So I stopped that after 2 months, losing about $1,300, never made any money, just my expenses there. And the last thing, which a lot of people won't recognize or won't understand this, but a lot of my goals this year for 2018 were around me creating that personal branding course I have, teaching people how to create a YouTube channel and monetize it like I did, because it's one of the best ways to make money. What I did not expect, so all of my goals were based around that monetary, what I was going to start, what I was going to do. And when that course didn't do as well as I thought it did, I've probably made $100,000 from it this year, which is not what I expected. I expected a lot more people to be interested in it. So everything I had planned for this year kind of got flipped upside down, which is kind of why I've been working a lot, just thinking new income streams, where I should go next, what I should do. Obviously, I'll stay on YouTube, but I consider that a failure. I started a software that I wanted to do around that, and it was going to be mainly through my course. Course didn't do as well as I thought it would. So the mastermind group I had an idea for, another software, an entrepreneur house around that. My entire plan for the year got flipped upside down, and no one notices that. They're like, oh, you made $100K off a course in 3 or 4 months. That's great. Well, with what I expected to do way better. But personal branding isn't really a sexy subject. It doesn't look as appealing as Amazon to most people, but it's still a very great business model. I think has the most potential. But I just want to show you guys, I've literally failed at pretty much everything I've tried at the start, except for maybe YouTube, but still always could have done it better. But I learned along the way. YouTube's hard to fail. You either get subscribers or you don't, but you just grow slow. So I want to share with you guys my failures, because you don't see any really YouTubers talk about their failures. Now, these are just the main ones. I could go into very specific ones in these categories. If you want to talk about running ads to certain things, whether it's personal branding, Amazon, different little failures in those, but those are the main ones. Now, they might not all be monetary failures, but they're failures nonetheless, in my opinion. So I'd be interested to see what you guys have failed at and if you stuck with it or not, because people will try something once for a month or two, maybe a couple times, and fail and be like, oh, it doesn't work. It's a scam. It's not for me. You just have to figure out what works, what doesn't, what you're doing wrong, and fix it. Literally, Kindle publishing. I ended up making a couple $100 a month, and I could scale it now if I wanted to, but it's not a business model I personally want to go after. Amazon, same thing, trading stocks, affiliate marketing, social media. I'm doing social media now. Personal branding, same thing. Failed at all of them before I started doing well with them. You need to stick with something for at least 6 months, unless it's something, well, everything pretty much works. You just have to figure out how to do it. So share some of your failures in the comments with me and let me know why you failed, and maybe we can help each other see why we failed, what we did wrong, because I bet a lot of you are doing similar things, whether it's Amazon, Shopify, etc. So let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, because no one talks about this, and I'll see you guys on Sunday.